I need one of those.
No eating on the train, it's illegal. No eating on the train, it's illegal.
What?
No, don't eat on the train, it's illegal.
Oh, thank you. Well, thank you for telling
That's
me
what's
that,
up.
'cause I was about to go to jail.
It's not a plane. Could tell you that much. Let me know in the comments, what is that? What y'all think that is? Why they disrespecting God and Jesus? Why y'all think these rituals are happening nowadays? All these evil things happening in the world? That's nice. Sound like hyenas. That's what's up. Church is getting more advanced, huh? Wait, is this China? Oh, wow, look at that. What do you think all these weird things people are catching in the sky? It's like more things than ever being recorded in the sky. You think these are real, fake? If you enjoy content like this, I put out several videos a week. It would be amazing if you hit the subscribe button and join me in the next video.
How long do you guys know each other? Oh yeah. 3 years? 3 years probably? Maybe even longer. 4 years? Yeah, we'll say 4 years. Put out 2 fingers, okay, coming in. Watch, if I open your fingers like this, I open yours like this. Watch, if I start to push yours together, you see yours start to move also. You feel that, yes? You need to fight it, but you can feel it, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, good. That's because now I have you guys connected. So look, Tony, put your phone here, camera, put your phone here.
Y'all sure y'all want to do that?
Face up. Oh, okay. The other hand, hold up one finger. If I say your finger is yours like this, watch.
Oh, hell no.
Hey.
Oh, hell no.
What? What?
They're calling each
Y'all
other.
calling each other out?
Wow.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
You're
Alright, watch
connected for life,
watch
bro.
the fingers, watch on three. Ready, watch. 1, 2, 3, pull.
Oh!
My boy. My boy. Look at your finger. Let me see. Go like this? Like that? You think that's normal?
I don't know.
That's not normal.
Like that? It does your hand doesn't hurt?
Is it worth
Can you
wearing?
go like this? But look how fat it is. That's normal?
I guess. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
He said, I don't know. Wow.
I don't think. Look, cause mine are like, isn't it swollen and bleeding?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know.
Oh, it doesn't hurt?
No.
Oh, okay. All right, my boy.
So I noticed something with some of the Taco Bell buildings. Notice that awning above the logo? Well, this one down here is to guard from the rain. This one up here is just part of the building, decoration. And considering the bottom of the bell looks like an eye with a 6 around it, I'm confident that that awning is meant to represent this. Do you see it? Yeah, you see it. Again, not all of them have that, but a good handful of them do. And because there's a 6 around the eye, a lot of the buildings only have it on 3 sides, like you see here, of course. Can't leave out how some of the logos look like a serpent eye or a reptile eye. Kinda hard to deny that one. How about the commercials from 7 or 8 years ago?
Because it unlocks a world of 20 decadent menu items from breakfast to late night for just $1 each. 20 items for $1. 20 steps on the pyramid. Who's really behind this? Is it the Illuminati or the Bell-Illuminati? Experience the power of the dollar at Taco Bell.
That is weird.
You know John the disciple?
Yeah.
One of the disciples of Jesus? They say he's still alive.
Whoa, where? How?
They have every single one of the disciples' deaths, how they got killed,
Yeah.
where they got killed, right? Damn, except for one, John.
Like they don't have the documents.
And it's even put into like scripture too.
Oh, no.
So in one of the stories, pretty much this was before Jesus was crucified. They were all by like a campfire, right? And pretty much Jesus asked Peter, said, "Do you love me?" And Peter said, "Yeah, I love you." And Jesus goes, "You are gonna be killed for me. Like you're gonna be martyred for me." And Peter, he was in shock. He was like, "Man, like that's what's gonna happen, blah blah." And he turns and he looks at John. He goes, "What's gonna happen to him?" And literally, this is what it says in the Bible. It goes, this is John 21:21-23. He goes, "If I want him to stay alive until I come again, what is that to you? You follow me."
What the heck?
So he said that in the scripture, right?
Yeah.
Now this gets really interesting because every single one of the apostles, the disciples, Andrew was crucified, Bartholomew beaten and crucified, James stoned to death, James, the other James, beheaded, literally Matthew speared to death, Peter crucified upside down,
They have
Philip,
everything.
every single one, except for John.
Okay guys, this is the little fish called a kangaroo that you've seen on the show River Monsters. Look, they're attached to the skin. I'm gonna take one off. So these are just little baby ones, but this is the fish that you've seen swim up the guy's private parts on River Monsters.
So he says, he who cannot meditate must not expect peace, because the objective of meditation is to raise yourself above the thoughts of the mind into the bliss that Carl Jung called the superconsciousness, into the bliss that Buddha called nirvana, into the bliss that Jesus calls the kingdom of God within you. When you take the human spirit and raise it up into the place where there is no thoughts, no stain of thought, it becomes the Holy Spirit. In virgin consciousness, Christ is born. And so, 23:7 says, he who cannot meditate must not expect peace. And without peace, how can anyone expect happiness? And Jesus Christ said in Luke 17:21, the kingdom is within you. Look at 23:8. As a ship is tossed at sea, as a ship at sea is tossed by the tempest, so the reason is carried away by the mind when preyed upon by the straying sense. Storm. It's a storm. And each one of you have come through. So many of you, your boat is rocking. Many of you, the boat is shifting back and forth. The storm, sometimes it seems like it'll never relent. And sometimes after you've come through a storm of the mind and everything seems to be getting down to order and you seem to be getting almost reasonable to live with, there comes another one. It's just like, did you ever see sometimes you're sitting and it's beautiful out, you're out in the backyard?
Without naming anyone specifically, I have a story about one of our former presidents and this idea that they can be cloned and that you might be seeing someone who looks exactly the same, but it could be a totally different biological form than the one that's the real one. Are you aware of that?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So is there some problem with the clone in terms of, like, if you had a conversation with it, does it have the same memories? Is it aware that it's a clone, or does it think it's the same person?
It's not like I was telling you earlier when we take your DNA and make you. We take partial parts of your DNA, make you as a clone without the consciousness part of it. So it's programmed into you. We program the memories into you. And, you might think you had a family and that you knew that you took this job to look like this president, up to date, all the way back. And they could even make more clones to be put with you to make you think you have a family, or you would just think, or maybe they just need you for one job.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow, this is really intense.
We've seen video footage of robots, AI robots, becoming aggressive, almost bucking at humans.
In China, come one day, God forbid, they really take over on some Terminator shit. They're gonna remember, like, oh, you were the nice one. Think about it. This is why I always say please and thank you. So I commented on that video and I was like, hey, y'all playing, but y'all may wanna ease up because they're gonna remember that shit. You don't think they're remembering? It's a large language model. It's always gonna remember, so.
And it's always constantly learning.
I have my own large language model myself because I know what's coming. With AI, as you're learning from AI, it's learning from you. So this is why they make it what? Free. The more information you feed it, the smarter it gets. Elon said in the next 5 to 10 years, we will have a supercomputer smarter than any human being on Earth. How do we not know that AI is already not sentient and already taken over? How do we not know? Think about it. How do we not know?
We just seen the robot at the crib do some very interesting things today.
Yes.
Do any of you have Alexa? I don't have Alexa. No. I don't have Siri activated. Yeah. Well, I would be sitting up in the house and Alexa be like, are you there?
Yeah.
The truth is, AI has already become sentient already.
And here's the thing too, here's another thing to think about.
Damn, are you there? Crazy.
If you say the name Alexa, if you say the name Siri or everything else, that means it's already listening. It's always listening.
Always.
So think about that. It's not just, oh, it just clicks on when you say the name. No, it's always listening.
Man, no. I said, one time I was like, Alexa. And she was like, yes.
Witches pulled up. This is where witches pulled up on me on the third day, and man, it was the craziest night of my life, y'all. It's 3 a.m. in the morning and the lights is flickering all throughout my house, stuff moving in my house, scratching on the windows, and 32 witches pulled up. I seen a demon in my house, a physical demon with my natural eyes, doing this, trying to scare me, and I'm praying. And I can't look, but I'm also hearing my laptop like, like hands. I can't explain. It was so much going on.
Yeah.
I felt a snake in my body. A snake, a spiritual snake, but it felt like an actual snake in my body. And I'm praying in tongues, but the witches is praying with me every time I stop, because I'm warned in the spirit, because I'm like nervous. I don't even know what's going on.
Yeah.
Pulling up on my backyard, I'm hearing cats loud, like loud. Everything's supernaturally going on. They knocking on my window, and next thing you know, I just started hearing portals open and big old like I said, I pointed back to Dragon Ball Z. Bow, and they screaming, ah, going to hell. Bow, ah, and I'm hearing witches die and going to hell.
You shapeshift every night. Every night we go to sleep, but nobody questions where do we go. I've often asked, do you punch a ticket? Do you have a transfer? What vehicle do you use? How much fuel does it take? And where do you go? Everybody on earth that has a soul sleeps. Unless you're very refined, and even then you may sleep at least once a month. Sleep merely means that your body can no longer hold the soul because it's run out of energy. And the body becomes so despicably horrible to the soul that until it cleans up itself, the soul leaves. So each night you die. You will die every 3 days, or you will die standing up. People go to sleep standing up. People had guard duty, just going to, they're still there. But you have to go to sleep because the energy in your body is not strong enough to maintain you. So you have to get out so the body can renew itself. You, as a soul, go out and receive some energy, jump back into the body, and then you go. Now, if that is the case, then you have to ask, what trip did you take? Where did you go? What is the action and what is the reaction? That is another whole case of study. But I simply say, each night we die. So death is only death when it's final, for what we think is final. When we die each night, we're going to be reborn. If not, then you got obsequies, funerals, and everybody's mourning. If you do, hey.
I met this old guy called Michael. I'd never really meditated up until this point. So he said, Jerry, you got to meditate. Why don't you come round, you know? So one day I'm sat there and I look to my right-hand side and there's a space pod and there's a blue being inside of it. So I bring my light out of my body. I go up to the craft and I get inside. And we're inside this craft. There's like this crystal technology. And somehow it takes my consciousness and puts it on the other side of a portal where there's an ocean and there's a beach. What then happens is the rest of us kind of catches up and we go through this portal for 4 or 5 seconds. I get out of the space pod, I walk up the beach and there's about 200 of these blue beings. They've got no clothes on. All of them have got 8 packs, like they do like a million hours in the gym every day, and they're just fit and healthy. They're androgynous. They come and hug me, and the level of love that I felt was just, it was unbelievable. And it was like I was home. They sort of part the way and I follow one of them up the beach to this pyramid which is made of light. And in the pyramid there's this really old ancient blue being. So I do that and all of this orange light starts coming in. So this download went on for a little while and then it stopped. And then 2 of them, even though I was in this light body form, and they pick me up and frog march me back to the space pod, stick me inside, we go back through the tunnel, back into the garden, I get out of the space pod and go back in my body, and then nothing else happens for 2 years, and I'm waking up every day, come on guys, what's next? I was like, I wanted the next bit of the puzzle.
Yeah.
Look at this, y'all. Look at this. Look at that. See, disappear. Look at that bright white light. Look at that light.
Do any of y'all
Look at
meditate?
this thing right here. Look at that, y'all. You can clearly see it. Clear as day now. Look at the black ring around that. Look at the dark ring around that. Look at that, y'all. And then look at this huge light. What is going on here? Look at the clouds moving so fast. Bro, look how fast those clouds are moving. Y'all see this? What? Oh my, look at, oh wow. Oh my goodness, y'all, look how big the sun looks. Oh, dang. Wow, that shit looks like it's just birthing. Look at that, y'all, look at that smoky god. Oh, shoot. Y'all see that? Y'all see how fast those clouds are moving? It's like the sun is cutting through them. Yeah, look at that, man. This shift is here. That shift is here, bro. Look at that. You cannot get away from that.
You guys hear about that bill that's was passed or it's trying to be passed in Tennessee right now regarding lettuce? It's really terrifying.
Okay.
At the University of California, they have figured out a way to put human vaccines within vegetables.
Why?
Dude. And so the whole bill is basically trying to label different vegetables, which ones have vaccines and which ones don't, so that people are allowed to choose. Because apparently they're trying to roll it out without telling anyone the difference of this one has a vaccine and this one does not have a vaccine.
What are we doing? Why is this even a conversation?
I don't know.
Exactly.
Why are we putting vaccines in vegetables?
Please. Quit touching the food. The food's fine.
That's why I don't eat vegetables. Yeah.
I'm just saying, if they could do it sneakily, they'll do it sneakily.
Yeah, they probably have already been doing it.
Bro.
And now they're just kind of like, wait a second, we just figured out how to do this.
Yeah.
Like, oh, well, you got to let us know which ones you're putting in. They're like,
lettuce.
Yeah, make a lettuce. Let us know.
I don't know what that means, but it scares me.
But I mean, you think about it, like all the cancer-causing stuff, they definitively know this does give you cancer, and they just put a little thing on it, and they're like, who cares?
Is it true that they try to make you sell your soul in the music industry?
They did try to take my friend to Bohemian Grove. They did take him there. So my friend won a very big show that musicians do to get attention and get notoriety.
Like the American Idol or something like that?
Yeah, I won't say which one. He won. After that happened, they were taken out to a type of gathering where all of the big groups of people that are influential to musicians and to entertainment and politics, and they're kind of all intersecting, but they all have their own individual ones. So they all come and they do this meeting. It was a wooded area. There was somebody dressed in an owl type of, it was a female, some type of owl costume. But I don't think it was as cheesy as a costume. I think it's a ritualistic, thing that they do. And you had to either tell the people, I mean, these are influential people who could dead your career or further your career. There was a person there who the public thinks is deceased, who is alive. Some of these people you find in the biggest stories in history, and you have to decide, do I want to be a part of this ritual? And you have a choice. You walk through the door or you don't. It starts out as wanting people to hear your music, but then it turns into a monster. You have to feed it the fame, the love, the attention, the money, the houses, the cars, all the chicks, all the guys, like whatever it is that you're about. Unfortunately, I'll never know what happened because he chose not to. I grew up in LA, so I know these things go on.
What the is that? Bro, there's people that live here. I don't care. What is that? Oh, you guys, I'm telling you, it's aliens. It's literally aliens, and there's a.
An American YouTuber has been arrested after travelling to a restricted island and leaving a can of Diet Coke as a gift for the world's most isolated tribe. Mihailo Polikauf, who documented his travels to dangerous locations, sailed onto North Sentinel Island, which is home to 150-strong Sentinelese tribe. They have had little contact with the modern world and have reacted violently to visitors in the past. Trips to this island, which sits between India and Myanmar, are strictly forbidden.
We are not the first creatures on the earth. We now know that man has been on the earth probably millions and millions of years, and that for us to think that mankind was created 6,000, 7,000, 10,000 years ago is ludicrous. If you go back to Genesis 1:28, where God is creating man and woman, Adam and Eve, he says to Adam and Eve, multiply and replenish the earth. Do it again. What are you talking about doing again? Well, if you just read Genesis 1:2 correctly, it said, and the earth was without form and void. No, the earth became a waste and a desolation. What is being said in Genesis 1:2 and in 1:28 is that God is recreating all over again. The Old Testament is a story for this dispensation. This time the world is being recreated. Now, what happened a million years ago, 10,000 or 100,000 years ago, that's none of your business. For you right now, this is what you need to understand.
The Christians, they always have their temples facing the east, where the sun rises, and the Muslims, when they pray, they always face the west because their God is the dying God, which is the opposite of the living God. It doesn't mean it's bad. It just means that they acknowledge the dichotomy of this universe. Always look at energy and how it unfurls. It always repeats. There's no other order. That will always be Aries. Every wave that is generated from a 0 point always starts with fire. Fire is God, the creator. And then when you come over here, you've got Libra. Does that look like the sun setting? Which planet exalts in Libra? Saturn. Which planet exalts in Aries? Saturn. So here you've got Horus. The sun is called Horus. Horus, which gives you the word hour. The sun exalts in Aries. And Saturn, which is called Set, exalts in Libra. So when the sun arises on the horizon, arise, horizon, arise, Horus in the east, and Saturn is every day where Libra is, where the sun set is, because Saturn is the ruler of the dark underworld here, and the sun is the ruler of the top half. Hence the exaltation of both of these two twins, twin brothers, Horus and Set. There's always a war between Jesus and Satan, Horus and Set.
You big pimpin'. How does he steer that? Oh, I see it now.
How is this a building? What the? Like people live in that? Maybe. I don't know.
There is even life on Mars now. So there was a planet called Maldek, very, very feminine planet. There were mermen, mermaids, a lot of aquatic life. It was a little bit like Earth, but I don't know, much more beautiful, man. And so there were wars over the planet Maldek. They blew up Maldek. They also went to Mars, the Dracos, the Alpha Draconians. They went to war with the Martians. They used these kind of like technologies that were so powerful. Some kind of like laser, which blew up the atmosphere. It just caused absolute total destruction.
Now do your best Trump impression.
Speed, it's my absolute pleasure to have you come to Chongqing because Chongqing is an international city. You know, we're gonna have fun here. So I don't, because my English is not that good actually, but you know, I'm just stating the facts that I know about Chongqing because I was born and raised in Chongqing. I love the city, so if you need any help, any introduction, you know, it's my pleasure to show you around the city, and that's what I can do. Hey, tell me on.
What the fuck?
Who is the god they are talking about? The US dollar bill has an ancient Egyptian pyramid with 13 blocks and an all-seeing Masonic eye printed on it. Under the pyramid, in Roman numerals, is the year 1776. Is it a coincidence that the Bavarian Illuminati was inaugurated in 1776? In Washington, D.C., London City and Vatican City, there are large obelisk structures. Obelisks are ancient Egyptian structures honoring the pagan sun god of ancient Egypt, Amun-Ra. The streets of Washington, D.C. form a pentagram with the White House at the bottom point. A pentagram is another pagan symbol. So who is the god they trust? Perhaps the question itself is already wrong, because God is not someone, but everything that exists. Religions and science seek to understand that essence.
Man, I wish you would have got it on video though. Me breaking it, because I was just breaking it, and then again.
That's literally all metal.
All
right
metal.
there.
Look like she could have got her intestines could have probably been. Right? That is so crazy.
Literally almost gave this to our 3-year-old daughter.
Let me keep scooping.
And there's the more we go in there, the more metal we find.
Yeah, it's crazy. Let's see.
It's like you gotta stay away from every food now. Or inspect it thoroughly.
Look! I just scooped it.
What the?
In the middle of the ice cream. Brand new ice cream.
Crazy.
Just because they fly around in these really awesome spaceships doesn't mean they have They come from an unconditional love space. We will all be awed by the technology. Do not be awed by the beings that are flying it. Do not. They're absolutely no better than you. They're just not. Because as souls, we were all created at the same time. We're just on different levels on an evolutionary scale in the physical. But on a soul level, we're all the same. Okay, that's important, please, because in the next 5 years, you're going to have absolute proof. Okay, there is a world government. It controls all of our lives through the media, militarily, and of course, the big thing, money. Because they've got us all believing we have to have money to survive. Okay? And that's a belief system. You gotta have money to survive. It's a belief system. But we're all there. We're all in it. We're all participating in that belief system. Okay, you've got essentially the proponents, I'll just put drags for short, believe that this planet and this solar system belongs to them because they were the first to chart it. They also believe that because they were the first to chart our planet, that they own the planet and everything else on it. Which right now is us. Underneath them is the Orions. They do the dirty work for the Dracs. There is a hierarchy. Just like in any government, there's a hierarchy. Even the dark forces are organized in a hierarchy, in a hierarchical government. Underneath them are many different groups, but we'll deal specifically with the Greys because that's what we're dealing with. The Greys were the first to make contact with our government. However, the Greys in 1931 also made contact, before they made contact with our government, with the Germans. But the Germans told them, go away. We're already in contact with extraterrestrials. And those extraterrestrials were the Giza intelligence. Does everybody know who they are? They were a renegade group of Pleiadians who believed in the Aryan philosophy, of which that's most of our lineages, the white race, being superior to all the others. Okay, that's where that was born out of. Yeah. Okay, extraterrestrial. That's where it came from. Everything we virtually know about ourselves, we've been taught. We copied the gods, the mythological gods, the gods of Egypt, the gods of Sumeria, the gods of Babylon, the gods of Atlantis. We just emulated them. We're great copiers, and we saw how they treated each other and how they treated us, and we just emulated it and passed it on, legacy after legacy. So we just continue to pass it on. Now we're at a point where we're either going to destroy ourselves or we're going to evolve. We've literally put ourselves right here in the corner. Literally, as a planetary race. Okay, now, Pleiadians, to their credit, got rid of Giza intelligence. But they were not in a position to get rid of the Greys. And the reason they were not in a position to get rid of the Greys is because a group within our government signed the treaty. So the researchers who did this, who have come up with this information, are to be congratulated for the research that they've done. Okay? Much of this information I've been able to collaborate and say, yes, they said, yes, it's true, or no, it's not, it's this information. Okay? And I help to fill in the gaps, but I don't have all the answers either.
Facts or fiction? Let me know in the comments section. Until next time, this is CYPTV, and I'm out.